exercise more, eat less, sounds good, fails 99% of the time.
Welcome back to Fasting Food Faith. I'm Brianne Sims, RN.
I'm Dr. Sam Sims, nurse anesthesiologist.
And today we want to do kind of a little intro recap update resources podcast, which I know sounds like a lot and a mouthful, but stay with us, especially if you're new here. We kind of want to do just like start at the beginning and give some background to things and share a bunch of stuff as we go into the holidays.
It'd also be helpful if you're not new here and you didn't realize the resources that we had available to you.
Right, exactly. Especially as we're going into the holidays and then the new year. Some of these things might be very helpful to you because they're what we needed when we started fasting. Yeah, so I thought we just go back in time, zoom, way back.
I feel like I'm back in time right now.
Do you?
Yeah.
The sound
If you
effects?
hadn't done sound effects, I would not. I would have felt like I was still in the present.
So helpful.
Yeah.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Anyway, okay, so life story shortened in like just a quick hot minute. We met in college.
Wow. Okay. Yeah. I remember that.
Do you?
I have like a back in time. You
Okay,
still look like
it's
you
like-
did in college.
Wait, oh, thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, my hair was a different color, but
It was.
I know. So we met.
So was mine over here.
So we met in college. Yes, back in 2000.
Mm-hmm.
Giving away our ages here.
Yeah, probably 2000. That was probably about accurate.
Around 2000.
Yeah.
Actually, before that, 99. Anyway,
Last millennia.
last millennia. You're back in the 1900s.
That's right. Yeah.
Back when things were great. So
Before Y2K messed Y2K messed us all up. That's basically what happened.
that's what happened.
Yeah, we didn't realize it was a slow.
Downward spiral.
Yeah, you didn't realize how bad.
Yeah. Anyways, okay. So the point of that was that we met in nursing school. Our education is in healthcare.
Mm-hmm.
I went on after nursing school to have our children.
Mm-hmm.
You went on after nursing school to get 1,000,000 degrees and
I
do
did.
your doctorate now, and you do anesthesia and you have pain clinics and do a bunch of different things. Anyway,
But I did offer in the meantime to say every time was like, do you want to go get your degree or do you want me to keep going? And you always supported. You always said, I want you to keep going. So
I was always very supportive of
you were,
Christian.
but I was supportive of you going back to school too. I just want to make sure that
That's very true.
Yeah.
But you're also supportive of me taking care of our
I
children.
was,
And you.
and I didn't just leave you home barefoot and pregnant.
No, I did work as a nurse for a long time.
Right, and I gave her shoes.
Yes. Okay. But anyways, we had 2 children in the meantime.
Uh-huh.
And, as you can see, obviously we were busy. We moved around the country. You went to school a lot. We both worked a lot. We homeschooled our kids. We're raising kids. Like, we're very busy people. And eventually our weight just kind of fell off the,
Stopped working out,
yeah,
and we ate
we,
terrible food because we ate what we could.
right.
And,
And then
sure.
pretty soon we got closer to our 40s and we were just feeling real discouraged about our weight, our health. Well, you with your weight, me with my health, about how things were going. And we were like, oh man, feeling desperate about something. About,
yeah,
like how,
we used to be in really good shape. I used to work at a gym when I was in college before we met, so I was in really good shape. And I knew how to lose weight. I just needed to get back to it, is what I always kind of felt like. Just need to get back to it. And there was a weight loss challenge at our church right before we turned 30, or before I turned 30. And I was like, I'm going to win this thing.
mhm.
Rand's like, I know you are.
Yeah.
And
Because I watched how
yeah,
hard you work,
yeah, yeah. So I lost miserably. I did all the things I was supposed to do that used to work for me when I was 21 years old. Counting my calories, exercise, all this kind of stuff. And it didn't work.
Right.
And I was just like,
Exactly.
what?
And my health
happened?
was just going down the toilet every year more and more and more. And
So by the time I got to 40, I kept seeing these things for fit by 40, fit by 40. I want to do this. I want to do I want to do a 40K by 40, all these kind of things. And I just finally told Brianna, I was like, I'm not doing fit by 40. I'm doing fat by 40 because I could achieve that. That's like everything. It just doesn't work. And I was seeing healthcare providers and I was asking them, I was like, look, healthcare, I had, like Brian says, I have 5 degrees. I'm motivated. And so I was like, if there's something, I felt like I was missing something this entire time.
yes, exactly.
And I was seeing dietitians and I was seeing healthcare people.
Same. I was seeing lots of doctors, no answers, nothing
Right.
was helping me.
And that's kind of a thing that people forget. Like a lot of healthcare providers, like they end up asking us, like, how did you lose weight? So it's not really taught to them. And so
Well, we're taught the conventional diet theory,
We
which
are.
doesn't really work.
yes,
Long term.
yes, it does not work. So, and we
The
were
research-
we were living proof, and then we were feeling that we were failing on our own. And the research shows that basically once you get overweight, your chances of losing weight or getting back to a regular weight is like less than 1%
Right.
with conventional diet theory.
So small.
So exercise more,
So
eat less
yeah.
has exercise more, eat less, sounds good, fails 99% of the time. And so, and we've convinced people that the advice that we're giving them when it fails 99% of the time, it's that person's fault. So we have a 99% failure rate, and I'm going to give you advice that doesn't work 99% of the time. And when it doesn't work, I'm going to blame you. That's what it is.
Yeah. Which is detrimental not only to our health,
Physical,
physical health, but
to
also to
emotional.
our mental.
But you can see why people are like, just like, forget it. I just can't lose weight. And you start to realize, like, yeah, you get it.
Yeah.
And if I sold, and one of the things I tell people is, if I sold you a car and it broke down 99% of the time, and I pointed to the one guy that driving the car that works, you'd be like, no, 99 people, this car doesn't work. It's terrible. It's a lemon. It's awful. And so you would blame the car or the advice that I gave you to buy the car, not yourself for buying the car.
Right. Exactly. So, all that being said, we were feeling desperate. Heard about fasting. It was December of 2018, and I was dealing with another health issue, horrible stomach infection at the time, and saw these videos about fasting from Dr. Jason Fung. We read all of his books, researched and everything. Incredible.
After that, yeah.
Yeah. But I was so desperate. I was like, fine, I'm trying this. And so I just cold turkey did a 24-hour fast. And I had such amazing results with that one fast and the issues I was having with my stomach that I was like, you got to do this. You got to try this with me. You got to watch these videos. Like, we got to dive into this because this is amazing. Where has this been all of our lives? And he said,
I'm not doing that.
and look where we are now.
I know.
God has such a good sense of humor, doesn't he?
Yeah. So I was like, I'm not doing that. I thought it was starving yourself, that it was unhealthy. I knew all of the things that I've been told were wrong, but I never actually looked into the research on it. And I have to be proven things are correct. And so I dug into it really hard.
Yeah.
And I looked at the research and read Dr. Jason Fung's book. And after that,
Both of his books.
yep. And after looking at the research, I said, okay, I will try it.
Right.
But here's my caveat. If my strength, like I was, because we were going to the gym at that point. You know,
Right.
we didn't go to the gym. We were actually lifting a lot. And I was, benching and squatting. And I said, if I lose 1 pound on my bench or my squat, I'm done. Like that was like the correct require. I was like, fine, I'll do it. But if any,
Just for the record, I did not care. I did not have the same goal.
she didn't care about my squat or my bench. Can you believe that?
I was talking about mine. Well,
Do you care about my squat or my bench now?
no.
Yeah, exactly. There's probably a lot of advice. There's probably a lot right there that, like, we hold on to things like, we really care about our squat and my bench.
I have no idea how much you used to
And nobody, yeah.
did or don't, or I don't know any of those.
Does anybody care? Nobody cares. You know what I mean? And the thing is,
It's not a requirement for anything.
no.
So
Yeah, it doesn't go on your resume, and nobody's gonna ask you, or they might ask you, but nobody's gonna test you on it. You can just
right. I mean, unless you're trying out for the Olympic
right.
weightlifting team.
And if you just tell somebody a realistic number, they're just like, oh, okay. You know what I mean? But
Right.
it's like nobody's gonna test you. Guys, you can say you bench, 285, and you guys are like, that's pretty good. You know what I mean? Nobody's going, no, I want to see it. We're going to the gym tomorrow morning, 5 a.m. You know what I mean? So it's just kind of funny. Like it's all just all personal stuff. But that was my thing. I was like, if I lose any strength, any muscle mass, I'm out.
So then what happened?
I got stronger because my human growth hormone went up.
Hmm.
And I actually tapped into my fat as an energy reserve. And that's what it is. It's actually fat as a purpose, and it's energy stored in your body. And when you fast, your body actually naturally releases your own human growth hormone to preserve your muscle mass and to burn more fat.
Right. And so we dove headlong into fasting and have never looked back. Like the incredible results that we've had physically, emotionally, spiritually are just unprecedented.
Mm-hmm.
And we've been like super into fasting and spiritual warfare and all the things since, and prayer and worship and all the since 2019.
Right.
So we're at 6 years now.
Yeah, it takes more. It takes
Yeah.
more to burn fat than it does to burn sugar. So it's more of an endurance thing. So we tested it lots of times, and like on the cardio machine, I'd go in the fast and see how far I could go, and how much energy I have on day 1, and then on day 5 I could actually go longer and faster over a period of time. We did a 14-day fast. We did push-ups and pull-ups at the beginning of it. At the end of it, we went back before we broke our fast, and we did push-ups and pull-ups again. And we did more push-ups and pull-ups at the end of our 14 days without food than we did at the beginning. So preserved our muscle mass, had that extra energy.
Stronger, healthier, all the things. Really amazing.
Yeah, more endurance. You could,
Yeah.
like run forever,
Yeah.
you know?
And God has done an incredible healing work in our own hearts
Yes.
and spirits and minds through the fasting. So not just our physical bodies. It doesn't just heal your physical body, but it draws you closer to God, to his presence. And there's just an explosion of healing and closeness with God that's hard. That's really hard to like communicate just over a podcast unless you've experienced it yourself.
Right, and when, we talk about what I talk about in the modern 40-day fast, when we get farther in, you start to experience, like, emotions that you just never really experience, and you're just really connected to that, and you feel kinda raw, but it's because you just take the food out. You've taken that physical thing, I'm like, "I'm going to humble my body to God, he's gonna take care of that," and you remove those things, and it's like, I'm not gonna let my flesh dominate me at this point, and I'm gonna be spiritually fed.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly. And when I look back to where I was in 2018 to where I am today at the end of 2025, I can't fathom it. Like if I had thought in 2018 that I would be where I am today with my health and spiritually and how connected I am to God and how work he has done in my family and in our marriage and with our kids and like just the continual way that he has cared for us and just redeemed so many situations and so many unhealthy food things, thought patterns, like spiritual things. Like it is just unbelievable how far he has brought us.
Mhm.
And that is why we have so many resources for you on our website because we are so passionate about sharing fasting and prayer with you. Like not just from a spiritual perspective, but also from a health perspective. Like both and for a mental and spiritual perspective. And so we don't talk about the resources on our website very often because we have a lot of other things that we want to share with you because we want to encourage you to go and experience this for yourself. But we have the resources there to help you on your journey. They're all the things that we have learned that we needed and that a lot of people have asked us for as they're on their own
Mhm.
fasting journey. And so we want to share some of those resources with you as we go into the holidays and into the new year,
Mhm.
even.
So, kingdomfasting.com is where you're gonna start,
Yep.
and you're gonna go to the resources.
Yes, there's a resources tab, and then we have a lot of things on the tab there, a lot of free resources. So the first one on the tab is our recommendations page, and this is brand new, but we have so many people ask us every time we speak, every time we're on social media, all of our fasters that we coached. These are the big questions that they ask us that we finally have recommendations for, like what multivitamin should I take? What should I do if this is happening with my lab work? What electrolytes do I need? And so we just have a lot of great resources there for you to use, even including one of my good friends who I do a podcast with. Her name is Sherry. It's called He Met Me in the Middle. She's a functional nutritionist. And so if you need specific, personalized, detailed plan with your nutrition, you can go and see her. We've got Leanne's Rebirth body butters on there and her magnesium body butter that's great for fasters
Mhm.
as
Yeah.
well.
Yeah.
There's
Keeps
candles. There's a lot of things in there to really help you on your fasting journey under our recommendations
yeah,
page. So we encourage you
healthy
to go.
things,
Yes, healthy
Yes.
things that have our stamp of approval. And by the way, all of these things, we do not receive any monetary benefit from any of these recommendations. These are just things that we enjoy. We're sharing the links with you because we think you'll enjoy them and it'll be helpful on your fasting journey for you also.
Mhm.
Full script is where you're going to find our recommendations for vitamins and nutrients and things to help you on your fasting journey.
Yeah, you have to be a healthcare provider to create this list, so I've created this for you, and
Mhm.
you can go in there and you can buy the recommended vitamins that we take, when we fast.
Yes, exactly. So that's one of the biggest questions that everyone asks us. So that is under our resources tab under recommendations. And then beyond that,
You will have to sign up for it, but yeah, you have to sign up for full script. But yes, you can get a link on that and you can sign up for it. And I think it's free to sign up.
yes, it's free to have
Yeah.
an account there and sign up
Yeah.
and order whatever you need to. So beyond that, we have our prayer guide for when you want to sit down and pray while you're fasting or even just every day in your morning or evening devotional times or with your family. It's just a good guide to have to keep you on track as you're spending time with God. So go check out the prayer guide. That's brand new because we've been doing a series on the podcast, prayer and fasting. So go check that out. There's also our jumpstart guide. So I feel like this one is important as we're going into the holidays. So let's say that you've gone through several holidays, you're just like, oh man, I need to get back to fasting. Or you are a faster, or you're brand new to fasting. You're like, I have never done this before. I'm intrigued. I kind of want to try it, but I need to ease into it slowly. That's what the Jumpstart Guide is for. It will help you get to your first 16-hour fast. So it's just a little guide that you can print off and use to help you get started with fasting or restart or jump back in, whatever you need to do. Next, one that we recommend after the Jumpstart Guide is our 5-day challenge, which helps you get to your very first 24-hour fast. So it's another little thing that you can print off. There's a little prayer guide and all kinds of things on there. So that's another good one to get you going with 24-hour fasting, which I do really recommend for a lot of women, is to kind of stay in that 24-hour fasted window. And that leads into our fasting calendars.
That's right. So you've done a jump start. You got your first 16. You've done a 5-day challenge. You got your first 24. And you're like, how do I move forward?
Like, how do I make this a lifestyle? Like, how do I just continue to do this throughout my life over vacations and holidays and, personal things that I have going on? And so that's why we have our fasting calendars, and those get updated every month. So if you go in there and download that, you'll get 3 months of a fasting calendar, a done for you fasting guide for the next 3 months. And we are really recommending that over the holidays to help you prepare for the holiday feasting and to get back into fasting after you're done with the holiday feasting. So sometimes it's nice to have something like already figured out. It's done for you. Like, you don't have to make the plan. You can just go download it, start the plan, follow the plan. If you need to change the plan, that's fine. But we have 2 levels. We have a plan for beginners, for people who are just starting out and wanting to try out sort of this fasting lifestyle. And then we also have an expert one for people who are really wanting to lose weight, do extended fast, whether it's for spiritual reasons or health reasons, whatever it is. It builds up to a long fast every month.
And we've helped people take on the holidays, as we call it, because there's not a. I understand, like, I'm not going to fast during the holidays. There's certain times you should not fast during the holidays. You should not fast when you're spending time with family. Not just fast when you're having your company party. But there's not a party every single day, and so I mean, there's a lot of those kind of things that don't happen all the time. And so what we have found is, like, fasting through the holidays is very beneficial because you just save it for those times when you're going to go and celebrate with people. And we've actually had people lose like 16 pounds during the holidays and not skip a single party or a single cookie or a single extra glass of punch, and just experience the holidays with their family and fast in between and actually lose weight.
Right, and actually enjoy it more because you're losing a lot of the guilt because
Right.
you're doing the fasting and feasting. And
But here's the thing, if it works during the holidays, it will work forever.
yes, it works over the entire year. Over your
We're not
entire
afraid of the holidays.
Yes.
So many other places, they just like, well, forget about the holidays, just have the holidays, and then we'll catch you in January. Like, we can show that you can actually just live your life through the holidays fast. There's a fasting lifestyle. You can just live your life, and you can fast and you can feast and you can just and you can enjoy the time with your family.
Yes. Then we have our shopping guide and more, which goes with all of our nutrition series videos that we've done on the podcast, just giving you all of the information out there. The shopping guide that you can take to the grocery store, get nutritious, healthy food. There's also 2 bonus resources included with that. The insulin index to give you an idea of what kinds of foods spike your insulin and stuff. We've talked about that a lot on the podcast in our nutrition series and with fasting.
Yeah, your insulin's up, your body's going to tell you why you store fat.
Right. So things that can spike that. And then it also includes our fasting fuels guide. So there is some nutrition information in there for you to use while you're fasting with our shopping guide download. So we can also do that. Then we also have our dance and worship playlist that you can download if you want some fun music to listen to and get your worship on. 'Cause we do have some podcasts where we talk about worship and dancing and the importance of that in the Bible. So we have a lot of resources on our website. Also, do not forget, on YouTube, we have different playlists so you can go and find the specific information that you need that we've already covered on the podcast. So we have a playlist on prayer and fasting. We have interviews. We have a playlist for biblical fasting if you want all the biblical information to help motivate you to fast. If you want nutrition information, we have all of our whole nutrition basics series that gives you all the biblical and scientific evidence for proper nutrition. And then we also have our Fasting Basics podcast series. If you're new here and you want to get started and dive right in about exactly how do I do this, like how do I start right now? Tons of great, short, sweet, informational videos that we have there. Same with overcoming common fasting struggles. If you've been fasting for a little while and you keep running into an issue, go check out those episodes. And then we also just have some fun chats. If you just need some entertainment and you want to have some fun conversations with us, a lot of it is biblical stuff that we just have some fun chats talking about. So there's a lot there. I think we have like around 70 episodes now. The podcast's been going for a year and a half. And so there is just so much information out there for you because we want you to be successful in fasting and praying and spending more time with God and healing your body.
And finally, if you have additional questions, you can contact us. That's at the bottom of our resource tab, and you can submit your questions to us. And if you want to schedule a meeting with us, and we can help coach you, then you can also do that as well. So that's on our contact page.
Right. You can also just send us an email if you have a question or there's something you want us to cover on the podcast or us to talk about. It's Sam and Bree at kingdomfasting.com. So it's easy to get a hold of us. Or if you know someone who would be a great guest on our show that we should interview, let us know. We'd love to talk to them.
Yep.
Also, if you've been enjoying Fasting Food Faith, we have 2 more podcasts that you can listen to.
Yeah, I have the modern 40-day fast. So after being not wanting to fast at all, I actually ended up fasted for 40 days and followed other people that had fasted for 40 days. There's Brienne then fasted for 40 days. And so it's a podcast about 4 different people who went through a 40-day fast at different times and how they felt and how they got through each day. And it's evidence-based, it's got research, and it's got scripture verses every single day. And you can go through that. And a lot of people actually, it's interesting how many people are actually encouraged to do a 40-day fast and
Mm.
to see the victories and the struggles, but more the victories as you go through it.
Yeah.
So it's a really encouraging way to kind of approach those 40 days.
Exactly. And it's really for anyone who's planning on doing extended fasting.
Mhm.
So depending on how long you're going your fast, you can listen to however many days that is. And it's very encouraging to just know that there is someone who's been there and done that and has encouraging words for you every day.
hmm
So
And I would also say it isn't always just fasting from food. And there are sometimes people do other 40-day fasts. And so we can encourage you for whatever God has put on your heart on how to fast over 40 days.
right, exactly. And then we also have my podcast, Whispers of the Father's Heart, which is daily encouragement directly from the heart of God to you, for you, to encourage you in your walk with Him. It also includes scripture verses, songs, and prayers sometimes, just whatever is on His heart. I just share that every day, Monday through Saturday, so you can give that a quick listen and find some real encouragement and connection with your Heavenly Father. That's really what it's all about, is just receiving His heart and connecting with Him. That is our heart for you, is for you to connect with Him intimately and know Him intimately and be loved by Him. So I encourage you to go check that out also.
And they're really quick and really easy to listen to.
They're
And you're
an hour or two. Yeah.
over 100 episodes now.
Yeah, I think I just recorded like episode 180 maybe. So
Wow.
we're a ways into it.
Yeah.
God is so faithful and so good. And He loved you and wants to speak with you every day. So another one for you to go check out. Also, if you don't subscribe on our website, you should go and subscribe so that you get our monthly email updates, because we are always updating what's going on with the different podcasts, what's new on our website, encouragement resources, all those kind of things we're sending out to our subscribers. So go to kingdomfasting.com and just subscribe. We'd love to hear from you. Thank you so much for being here, friends. We're excited to help you on your fasting journey. And if you know someone who's interested in fasting or wants to get started with fasting, we would love it if you share this episode with them to help encourage them and share the resources with them that will help them on their fasting journey.
Go to the website, go fast, be blessed.